What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good day today. My day been pretty good. Got a story that's coming out of Fort Liberty, North Carolina. Y'all look at this story real quick.
Fort Liberty soldier is charged with the murder of his 8-month-old daughter more than a year after her death. Carly Haynes is live at Fort Liberty after speaking with the child's mother and grandmother. Carly, a lot of new details surrounding the baby's death that is difficult to comprehend.
And they're still processing, Gerald. We spoke with the baby's mom today as well. She moved to California shortly after the baby's death. So short notice, she couldn't be here for the hearing today, but she said she is relieved about these charges. Meanwhile, the baby's grandmother was at the hearing at Fort Liberty today.
Misty Bray has waited more than a year for an update after state medical staff found her baby granddaughter, Misty Lou De La Torre, was murdered.
Horrific to think that she had to go through that.
Now, new charges against the person last with her, Fort Liberty soldier and De La Torre's dad, Gabriel Seville.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, but is it ever going to be justice?
He faces unpremeditated murder and involuntary manslaughter charges. In an autopsy from the medical examiner's office last year, the father claimed De La Torre wasn't feeling well and she had vomited. He slapped her on the back to clear her airway, but the autopsy found her injuries were associated with abusive head trauma in infants, noting damage to her eyes, spine, head, and neck. Bray said a prosecutor elaborated on those injuries in Thursday's preliminary hearing.
In her eyes, there was so many injuries they just couldn't count. And then the head trauma, there was multiple areas of her brain that was, had trauma and injuries.
Court records show Seville had just won joint custody of De La Torre, his daughter just 3 days into her stay with him. Bray says losing this smiley, bright baby will stay with them.
We can't change it, but we're still trying to learn to live with it.
And Bray said Seville also faces a domestic violence charge against another one of his children. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live at Fort Liberty.
Now, this is a sad shame that the children the children is not even safe around their parents anymore. Now, the father is supposed to be there to protect her, to love on her, and to give her all the nurturing and love that she needs. And for a father to turn around and do something like this, father, mother, whoever, whatever type of relative, to turn around and do something like this is very tragic. This is pitiful. Lock that man up and throw away the key. Because I know sometimes they say in the army that soldiers have PTSD and all type of illnesses from being in the service. But this right here is no excuse at all for this man to have to do something like this to his little infant daughter. This is ridiculous. Let me read a little something from the news real quick. An Army soldier has been charged with the murder of his 8-month-old daughter, who prosecutors allege was beaten to death while in his car. Medical examiners in North Carolina ruled infant Misty De La Torre's death a homicide not long after she died last year, but no one has been charged over until this month. Over the past year, Misty's mother and grandmother have tirelessly fought for justice for the 8-month-old who suffered fatal head injuries while with her father, Sergeant Gabriel Seville, a Fort Liberty soldier with 82nd Airborne Division. Her grandmother, Misty Bray, told ABC 11 that the baby was so innocent, didn't even have her first tooth yet when she died. I just want justice. I did. I just want my grandbaby death. Someone needs to be held accountable, Miss Bray said. Sergeant Seville faces charges of unpremeditated murder, involuntary manslaughter, and domestic violence. However, the domestic violence charge is not related to his baby daughter, but to another family member, according to outlet. This is ridiculous. There's no way in the world this man should have had custody of his child, joint custody of anything. It already stated that he already is facing a domestic charge. How in the world does he have this child in his possession? In the news report, you can see that it said he just won custody battle 3 days prior. Now, this is alleged. 3 days prior to her death is what I'm thinking as you read the story or as you hear the story on the news. But he's supposed to be protecting his daughter. Talking about she wasn't feeling well, he want to pat on the back. Come on, man, why you going to tell a lie like that? You know you're lying. And then the autopsy come back and show that she got injuries to her head, to her spinal cord, back and neck. She got this. The autopsy showing all the head injuries that this child has. You know, a child when they are little like that, 8 months, they are very fragile. The top of their head don't even close in all the way yet. It don't even close in all the way yet. And this man beat this child. And as you go through the news outlets and read, he beat the child because the child was crying. This is ridiculous. There's no way in the world this man should have had custody of this child or even been in his possession. If you can look at one of my other stories, a man had beat his son. He didn't, matter of fact, no, let me scratch that. He didn't beat his son, but he had his son run on a treadmill. But he did, I think he had turned around, he had did something to his child, to his son, had him run on a treadmill because he was upset that the mother was gone as they went on a vacation. And they came back. Once they came back, he was upset that they didn't make it back on time. So he had the boy run on the treadmill, and later on the boy died. I got the story in the channel deep down in it. You should go watch it. But this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. We are supposed to protect our children. We're supposed to protect the babies. We're supposed to be there for them. Just look at this child. Look at her. Pretty young baby. Just look at her. This is ridiculous. She did not even deserve this at all. Had a whole life ahead of her. God bless the family. Condolences to the family. I couldn't even imagine what they're going through in their hearts. How heavy their hearts are at this time. Say a prayer for the family. Say a prayer for the family, those that are grieving over this. Because this was very senseless. Now, it took a whole year for them to even charge this man. This month is when the man got charged. Took them a whole year to investigate this. And this man sitting around telling a lie that the child was not feeling well. The child was not feeling well because of what you done to him. It's all about what you did to this child. Stop lying. And I don't understand how in the world this man was out a whole year behind this. Walking around free, knowing he did this to this child. Somebody ought to do something to him when he goes to that jailhouse. I hope he get in the cell with Big Bo, and Big Bo do the unthinkable to him. Bust his head wide open. Because this right here is ridiculous. Parents, take care of your children. Watch over your children. Love them. Because they didn't ask to be in this world. She didn't even ask to be in this world. Not at all. This is a ridiculous story. And there's a lot of parents out there don't care enough about their children. Just because somebody take care of their children, I mean, just because somebody have their child staying with them, don't mean they love their child. Don't mean they even care about them at all. Some people are just parents just because of what they are able to do. Open their legs or pull down their pants. But this right here is no excuse at all. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. And say a prayer for the family. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.